Video 2 of small tips. So, if your restaurant serves wine, my opinion is that if the guest knows a lot about wine, whatever you say is meaningless. They know more than you, and they don't even want to hear what you have to say unless you have specific things about a vintner they don't know or aren't familiar with or haven't tried. Then, if you can, sample them. But if they know, what you know doesn't matter. And conversely, if they don't know, whatever you say is gospel. So whatever you have to say it. There you go. Sell your wine. Um, oh, don't talk with other servers on the floor unless it's absolutely necessary. How frustrating is it for you when you go out and you need X? They dropped off your food, they think it's right, you think it's right, and then you realize, oh, I don't have X. Yet your server is paying no attention to you and they're over by the POS talking to other servers. You know darn well they're discussing what happened last night, what's going to happen tonight, just BS. They're not, oh, how do I go about ordering this? They're not, it's not work talk. It's just talk about whatever, and you need help. So try not to talk on the floor. And it's one thing to go up to a guest and say, can I get you anything? It's another to just be present. Look at your guests, look at their faces, look at the table. You should always be doing that. I call it visual grooming. So when I go out on the floor, I try to look at every table. Before I leave the floor, as I'm exiting the floor, I try to look at every table. Who needs drink refills, who needs things pulled, etc., etc. Then I make that my next trip. More about that later. When your guest is ordering, always confirm their choice. I don't mean like, oh, that's the best thing on the menu. No, just make sure they know that it has your vote of confidence, that they're going to enjoy their meal. Like, oh, you're going to love that. One of my favorites. Ooh, perfect. Like that. Like just give them a little bit of assurance that they've ordered properly. They've ordered something good. I'll tell my people this entire menu. We have a scratch kitchen, so that's a little better. This entire menu, if you like what it sounds like, you're going to love the food. So just keep that in mind. And I tell them just about everything except for things that are pre-made, then I list those things. I can accommodate whatever it is you want. You love this, I'll put a little more. You hate this, I'll leave it out altogether. For example, me, a huge one is mushrooms, man. I don't like mushrooms. So anytime you can leave mushrooms out, I'm happy with that. Don't speak in restaurant lingo to guests. They don't want to hear your food's up, your food's about to be up, I dropped your check. No, your food's almost ready. I should have your food in 2 minutes. I always speak in specifics. The cooks tell me 2 minutes, real time, let's say 4. Because cook time's a little different than real time. Never speak in real English. Don't speak slang, the lingo of the restaurant for them. That's for us, servers and restaurant employees, to be able to converse and like clearly and concisely and quickly what we need to say. That's what that's for. No terms of endearment. You don't know how sick I am of hearing this. You don't know that person. Hi, hon, dear. No, please no. Sir, ma'am. You don't know that person. And even if you knew them for years, I have people I've served for a decade. I'm not going to call them hon or dear. I'm in a professional environment. And I've never known them personally. And even if I do see them outside of work occasionally, I'm still not going to do that. Another thing that I find outrageous is speaking to an old lady and calling them young lady. What would you like, young lady? Why? Like, as I get older, like, I feel I earn a little respect because I've made it to this bloody age, man. I've lived for 60 years. Give me a little bit of respect for that, would you? Don't call me young man. I'm not a young man. Like, I'm not an old man either, but if I had to pick one of the two, call me an old man, not a young man. Young man implies that I don't have the knowledge that an older man would have, that I still do things that some could consider silly, that some could consider naive because you don't have the knowledge involved. So if you call me young man, to me, that's kind of telling me that I'm behaving like a young man would that doesn't have that respect. All right, that's enough for this one. Get out there, make some money. Peace.